We're going to talk about education, and the Climax Scott's schools are in the spotlight today. Of course, boy, there's a bunch of schools starting up here very, very shortly, and we're going to try to get in as many as we can. I believe Superintendent Kim Carter of the Battle Creek Schools is scheduled to talk with us, I think, tomorrow. But right now, the spotlight on Climax Scott's, and we welcome to our studio Superintendent Doug Newington. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning, Tim.
Very nice to meet you today. And also elementary school principal Terry Peters. Hi, Terry.
Good morning, Tim. Thank you for having us.
Yep. And we also have Brent Cole, the junior high school principal. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Tim.
It is very nice to have all of you with us today and talk a little bit about, the challenges. You guys are a smaller school. And yet doing a lot of great things, and it looks like a lot of great community support. How many students are there in the Climax school system?
About 500.
500 students, and how does that break down between elementary and high school?
We have 275 in the 612 building, and about 210 in the pre-K through 5th grade.
So are we talking 2 buildings for the district?
2 buildings, an elementary and a junior senior high school.
A lot of these school districts too, they've got more buildings than they know what to do with these days. They're trying to kind of pare it down and be as efficient as they can. I'd say that's about as efficient as you can get there.
We are filled to capacity. I'm sure Mrs. Peters would love to have a few more classrooms in the elementary.
What? And the elementary's in Scotts, is that right?
Yes, sir, in Scotts.
So tell us about that building.
It's a great small school, small class sizes. That's one of the largest benefits of being out at Climax Scott's is we offer early elementary. The class sizes are about 13 or 14 each, and in upper elementary we have about an average of 18 each, and that's a great benefit to being in a small school. We can differentiate instruction with that.
I bet there's some parents in some larger schools right now that are hearing that and saying, I got to move there.
We'd love them to come on over.
Because, that is a real challenge, for schools to be able to do that. And that is really something you can hang your hat on, I think. Talk about the advantages of that, Terry, when you have that smaller class size for teachers.
It allows us to differentiate instruction, and especially with the early literacy push, we can really allow for a lot of individualized instruction for each child. We have been able to bring in some professional coaching. We have a large peer support staff, so we can work with children in very small groups to help them learn. We also, with being so small, we're able to know each child individually and each family individually and make them feel cared for and welcome. And we feel this is just as important as academic learning because we're able to teach the whole child.
That's fantastic. We mentioned the 2 buildings. We forgot one. There's a virtual school. Now, tell us what that is.
So we have, it's basically an online program that we partner with a third company. And right now we are doing it within Kalamazoo County and any contiguous county. And we ship the technology right to their home. And then we have teacher support that is available at least 12 hours a day, and kids take their classes online. And that can work well for anyone who has some medical challenges or behavioral challenges. And it's been very successful, and we're building it each year.
I think sometimes we think about technology as being centered in these bigger urban area schools, but really it's a necessity for the smaller school districts to embrace all kinds of technology to streamline, to save money, to increase efficiency, and you guys have done that pretty well there.
We have, even within our buildings now, we have more computers available than we have students. So between our computer labs and our individual laptop carts for the classroom, we've really had a push for expanding our technology, and this bond project that we are in the middle of has been very helpful for that.
And just another example of that, a few years ago, I reached out to all the area schools because I wanted to get a way to communicate closing information that we could relay on the air. And Climax Scott's was, right up there technologically with a great system that I think you guys were ahead of the game there, ahead of a lot of schools.
Thank you. We've been trying.
It works really well. I get an email from you, Doug. And I mean, I know what's going on, and I know it's on the up and up, and so I like that. But you know, that's just like the tip of the iceberg. You guys even have a new mobile app.
We do. We you can go to your app store and search for Climax Scots, and we have everything on it that we have on our website. And you can check the news, you can check the calendar, lunch menus, schedules. And so it's being real well received. We just rolled it out about a month ago, and we're tracking the downloads. It's pretty exciting.
Yep, you can go to the website csschools.net, and get more information. Download the new app, and boy, you know, the real excitement. I guess that there's a lot of exciting things, but the voters really show their support for your school system in a recent bond proposal. I'm happy to say my wife and I voted yes for that. And the bottom line is you got $11.5 million to improve things with, right?
We did. We actually had two bonds. One was $9.4 million for improvements to facilities and adding technology and furniture and those kinds of things, and then a second one of $2.1 million to build a badly needed auxiliary gym. And so we have a lot going on both this summer and next summer, focused more on the elementary this year. So all of the work at the elementary will be done this summer, and then we got quite a bit done in the stadium and softball field. And then next year, more focusing on the junior, senior high school.
We're talking about Climax schools today, and when does school actually start? The first day?
September 3rd, day after Labor Day.
So that's kind of an exception these days. A lot of schools are putting in applications to move it up from the state law, which put it after Labor Day, but you're starting the day after Labor Day.
We are. We do have a waiver that we can start earlier, and we're strong believers in the balanced calendar. But with our bond project and the construction we had going on this summer, we needed that extra time.
Absolutely, yeah. And we're talking with Doug Newington, Superintendent, Brent Cole, the junior senior high school principal, and the elementary principal, Terry Peters. Brent, what has been done so far over at the high school and junior high this summer?
Well, as Terry and Doug can attest, I was really pushing to get new lockers in. It was one of the things that we had as a part of the bond project. And after last year, watching some of the sixth graders come in and being the first time in the building, I thought, what could we do to ease their transition? And one of them was that new locker, so you didn't have to worry about struggling with the locker, the combination, and just focus on going into class and seeing their friends and seeing their new teacher. So we have new lockers in place, and our custodial team did a fantastic job over the summer and repainted most of the building. And so aesthetically, we have new hallways with new color and the new lockers. So that's kind of what we've had done for us.
How are new lockers secured these days?
It's the same old
Also,
traditional.
still the combination lock?
Yes.
We got to get rid of that. That was a bane of my existence.
And as was ours. So it was really nice to get these new ones. And so that's a stressor that our sixth graders do not have to worry about this year.
Well, that's good. That's good. What else has been going on this summer over there?
Oh, and when you said about being a small district and us being a 612 building, and I know that does create challenges, but also creates some great opportunities. I'm fortunate enough to have staff that teaches both in the middle school and the high school. And so when we sit down as a building and look at our initiatives, it's nice to have teachers be able to sit in a small group and talk about what's going on in 6th and 7th grade. And we talk about what's important learning that leverages and has longevity in those grades that are going to push into the high school. And those conversations are easy to have, and it's right there in the building. So as a building principal, I'm fortunate to have that in place.
So is a 6th grader walking down the hallway right next to a 12th grader?
No, we have it built into the structure where they're separated for the most part.
Yeah.
There are some times where they will have to cross paths, but for the most part, they're isolated, not isolated, but separated from the other 9, 10, 11, 12 graders.
I see. Yeah. And what are some of the projects that are still on the horizon? Obviously, a lot of them are going to have to wait till next summer.
Yes, next year we have the majority of our work being done. And I'm excited about this stuff that's going to be happening inside the building with the classrooms. We're going to get brand new carpeting, brand new furniture for our students, new lighting, which will be nice for them to walk into those classrooms. Teachers will also benefit from that with having new desks and furniture. And then probably for the community, the big push is to have a secure entranceway into the building. And so that's being redone. And it's been designed to be safer and secure and kind of isolate how people get in and out of the building. And that will take place along with our auxiliary gym, which will be attached to that.
And, football's been pretty big. You've had a very successful football program in Climax Scotts for quite some time. And the football stadium's going to get some work, too.
Yes. We've got a brand new track surface that went in. I know they worked on the irrigation. We have brand new lighting fixtures that's going around. And there's a couple other things that will be planned for next year as well.
While we're on the subject of football, too, big transition this season. You're going from full squad to the eight-person league.
Yes. And nice thing, our athletic director, Kevin Langs, did a nice job, in my belief, transitioning us. I think he let the community know that this is the direction that we were probably going to head a couple of years ago. He did that by moving the JV team and the middle school to the 8-man. So he prepared our kids coming up for that transition, and also the community, as it is a big change for Climax Scotts.
And Climax Scotts, a smaller school, a smaller community, and a lot of them struggle to field a regular-sized football team. That really wasn't the problem with you guys, was it?
No, we had the students, but last year, as most parents can attest, we had to travel 1,500 miles to complete all our games because we just couldn't find 11-man teams with our size in our area. So we spent a majority of the time on the road, and we had one home game.
Sure.
So that wasn't a feasible long-term solution.
One home game, yeah, that's right. I remember that. And I mean, you got teams like St. Philip and Bellevue and Teconcha, all these teams in the area that you used to always play, go to an 8-man format, and so all of a sudden you've got to really beat the bushes for opponents. And now will you be back playing those teams then?
Yes, for the most part. And the nice thing is we'll have 5 home games this year, which is exciting. And then we only travel half of probably what we did last year.
Well, that'll be interesting. When's the first game?
August 30th at 7 p.m.
Yeah, against?
And it's home. And that's against Wyoming Tri-Unity.
Oh, they're no slouch. That'll be a great game. And, history will be made. 8-man football at Climax Scotts. The community saying yes to this bond proposal, both bond proposals. I mean, quite often, you throw 2 of them out there, you hope to heavens one of them will pass. But you got pretty overwhelming great support from your community. What does that do to the staff and the students, I guess, inside the schools?
Well, I think it gives us that pride feeling and the feeling very supported by the community. You want to be proud of your facilities and show them off. But yeah, we have a great community that has been very supportive over the years, and certainly was this time. We had a great steering committee that went through and prioritized what we were going to ask the taxpayers for, and a lot of influential people in the community. And when they went out in the community and said this is what we need and why we need it, it was well received.
I think we got a lot of people in that school district who seem more willing to endure bumpy roads than to see their school systems go in need. They supported the school system, did not support the road proposals. That's a feather in your cap, I think.
It is. I think they have a belief in what we're doing and certainly pushing for the kids, and we're all about supporting the kids. We had some bumpy roads too. If you've driven in our driveway before, it was pretty horrible. So we did have a lot of facility needs that we needed to cover. And then we got some additional things like the technology and the furniture for the kids in the classroom.
Yep, that's great. Get that stuff fixed with lots more improvements to come. I know the village is also getting some of their roads redone. They got a grant, so it's going to be great. Anything we missed before we let you go?
Just we have an open door. I think we all believe in educating as a community, and our doors are always open, so we welcome anyone to stop in and see us and talk with us.
Yeah.
Give us a call.
Yeah, we encourage a school of choice. We have been for a couple of years. We're about 20% school of choice, and we're not all things to all people. We're a small district that has a nice little niche, but some of the other surrounding districts, when they go from 200 kids in an elementary to 800 kids in a middle school, some of those kids would benefit more from being in a district our size, and we encourage you to come have a look.
All right, great. Thanks to chat with all of you today. Doug Newington, Superintendent, Climax Scott Schools, Brent Cole, junior high school, senior high school principal, and Terry Peters, the elementary principal. Nice to meet all of you today.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.